Hi, my name is Craig, and welcome to Behold Podcast. And I am with my co-host, Beth Whitney. And Beth is going to talk about a very sensitive topic, one that's very pertinent to the world today, and a lot of people are experiencing is reproductive technology. And this is by request from someone from our Behold Live show that we did back in May, and so we're grateful for your input. But I would say this, Mom and Dad, you may want to listen to this first before you outsource that to your kids, just so they can be able to filter that as best as you can and probably stimulate some really good conversations. But Mom and Dad, you probably should listen to it first on reproductive technology. Are you ready? I'm going to do what Beth does. Here we go. Hey, Beth.
Hey, Craig.
Kind of weird.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I've kind of thrown this off a little bit.
Yeah.
But we thought that I would drive the show a little bit today.
Yes.
Typically, you're kind of the one that does that, and
Sure.
you do such a great job.
Thank
but
you.
because of the topic and everything that we're going to cover, I thought I'd put myself in the driver's seat.
Well, yeah,
on
and we
this.
kind of take turns doing. Sometimes we do
research.
we share the prep, and sometimes it's like, okay, you do the prep, and I'll ask the questions.
the
but
questions.
this time,
you did all
I did the prep because you were on vacation.
I was on vacation.
Tell us where you went, Pastor Craig.
It was a bucket list vacation
Okay.
for me. I went to Alaska with a friend of ours.
Yes.
And went fishing.
Fishing.
And we did all kinds of fishing, caught all different kinds of fish. I had two specific fish that were on my bucket list. I've
Okay.
caught a lot of salmon over the years.
Sure, you lived in the Northwest.
Yeah, and so I've caught those. But I wanted to catch an Arctic grayling,
Okay.
which is in the trout family. It's just a very unique looking fish. They don't
Yeah,
get-
you showed me a picture. It's super interesting.
Yeah, they're not too terribly large. They're
Right.
just a lot of fun to catch. And then I wanted to catch a pike.
Okay.
And I caught some of those too.
And did you eat any of this fish you caught on the trip?
I ate part of a salmon that I caught, but most of it we froze. And the guy I went with he's gonna give it out to folks and all that kind of stuff.
Now, did you eat any sashimi that you caught?
No,
Just couldn't go there.
I would no.
Okay.
I wouldn't do that.
Just kind of ick factor.
I like sashimi,
Yes.
but I wouldn't have done that.
Okay.
Probably. So I'll pass. But it was just a great trip. Had a great time.
So did you see any orcas, polar bears, grizzly bears, eagles?
Beth, we saw one eagle.
One? There's an
One.
eagle in Fair Oaks.
I know. We saw one eagle, and we were looking for bears.
Yep.
Everywhere we went,
What about meese? I mean, mooses? How do you say moose
I'm
plural?
just going to let you go on that.
I'm going to stop talking.
Moose is plural and singular.
Okay. Did you see any moose?
Well,
Says.
I still like the idea of meese.
Meese?
You see any meese? No,
Goose, geese, moose, meese. Now everyone's going to know I'm an idiot. I've been hiding it.
No.
No, I haven't. Everyone knows. Darn it. I've been lying to myself.
Oh, B-dub. I tell you, it's always fun. It's always an adventure on Behold
So did you
Podcast.
see any moose?
No, we didn't.
Just fish.
No, yeah, fish. Everywhere we went, because we hiked every once in a while, and the guy that we were with, he would carry a gun, and we'd be walking through the bushes and stuff, and he'd be going, "Hey, bear! Hey, bear!"
Yeah.
Because you don't want to surprise one of them,
Right.
And because they'll turn and run.
Sure.
And so we made a lot of noise, but didn't see any. No,
Oh, well.
not a one.
But you saw a lot of fish
We saw a lot of
on
fish.
the end of your line,
On the end of my line.
which was the goal.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Awesome.
it was a lot
I'm
of
glad
fun.
you were able to do that.
Yeah, it was good.
We missed you.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm glad you're back.
It is good to be back.
Good.
It is really good to be back. And I'm excited to get into this show because of all the shows that you and I have done together. This is the one where I've done zero research.
Okay.
But experientially,
Mhm.
I've been down this road.
Sure.
And we're going to be talking about reproductive technology.
Yeah.
And even when Debbie and I were going through our infertility problems many years ago,
Mhm.
none of this stuff really played a role
Okay.
in what we experienced.
Mhm.
And it certainly does now. I mean,
Yes.
we know people that are going through these things.
Mhm.
And you've done some extensive research. I've got your notes in front of me, and I really am grateful for this because I plan on learning a lot in this show.
Sure.
And just so you know, this is one of those topics that you, the listeners, advise us to cover. in our Behold Live program last spring, one of you or many of you probably requested
Yes.
that we cover this. And so with great privilege, we do that.
Yeah.
And so how do you want to start, B? Do you want to just dive into it or?
Let me give a little background about the research I did.
Okay.
And kind of my own experience. So my husband and I had no problem.
Right.
Getting pregnant, carrying pregnancies to term. We had 3 pregnancies and 3 babies. And so this is something I am approaching with a lot of humility because I don't know what it feels like to walk through a journey of infertility.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom it.
Yeah.
So I want our listeners to hear, I am not coming at this with a heart of I know exactly the right answers to everything, because I don't, even after all of my digging and research and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm really grateful to Dr. Scott Ray. He was a professor at Biola, and I think I might have had him in a class for a Bible class. But he is a medical ethicist. So he studies medical ethics through the lens of the Bible, through the lens of being a Christian.
I bet that's interesting.
And so way beyond my capacity, right? I reached out to some of our doctors here at Arcade Church to find out, do you know someone local? Do you know? And they're just like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
But thanks be to God for Dr. Ray and Google helped me find several things. And there were also some other things through, like Dallas Theological Seminary had a couple videos that I was able to watch where there were also people who are well-educated on the topic who had experienced infertility, who shared their stories and shared their insight through a biblical lens. So I think that's what I want to say before we jump in.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
And I'm just going to, you just go and I might stop you and ask questions and that kind of stuff and clarify all that. But you just go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I found out a lot of information. Like when I was a kid, IVF was called test tube babies. And that was in 1986, the first test tube. Oh, I'm sorry. 1978 was the first test tube baby, which is just so crass.
Yeah.
But there are multiple treatments for infertility. There are medications. Maybe there's a surgery that will help you have a baby. There's surrogacy, which we could do another show on.
Oh, yeah.
If surrogacy is right or wrong for a Christian. There are donor eggs and donor sperm. Also, there's ethics to that. Is that right or wrong? But there's also less invasive intrauterine procedures. So the harvesting of the woman's eggs is the most difficult, the most medically challenging, the most, it puts a lot of pressure on the woman's body. Okay. And so there are ways to...
Not emotionally, physically.
No, physically.
Okay.
Yeah, and emotionally, I'm sure is...
Sure, right.
We haven't even talked about that.
Yeah.
But there are other procedures that are less invasive than harvesting eggs. So... we just won't get into the nitty-gritty of that.
Yeah.
We're mostly going to talk about IVF. But infertility treatment overall is projected to profit $36 billion by 2026.
Oh, my goodness.
So you have to think, is there money at play in this process?
Oh, there has to be.
Right?
Yeah.
When I was Googling, one of the blog articles I found about what Christians think about IVF was on a infertility clinic's website. So obviously that article is going to be skewed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even as you're gathering information, you have to put on your think carefully glasses,
you got to
right?
process it, considering the source,
right?
All that stuff.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Also, so like I said, IVF first came about in 1978. In 2023, there were about 96,000 babies in America born via IVF, which is only 2.6%.
I'm surprised it's that low, that soon.
Yes. But something to also think about is the pre-procedure to in vitro fertilization is harvesting eggs and sperm, joining them into embryos in a lab, and then they're frozen. So currently, rough estimate, there's between 600,000 and 1 million frozen embryos in America. It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
And 88% of those are for future family building. Let's say there's a couple and they
bank them or something?
They bank them.
Okay.
Yeah. And so there might be a couple, there might be a lot per family.
Right.
2.8% of those are donated to research.
2.8%
of the frozen
of
embryos.
those. Okay. All right.
Less than 15% are donated to other couples. I got some conflicting information. I know I have a note here, but there's conflicting information about embryo adoption, which is a good thing, right? If we're Christians and we're thinking, we think, we'll talk about when life begins a little later, but there are rules about adoption can only take place after a birth. So then imagine that your wife has an embryo implanted and you think this is your child. You give birth and then the couple goes, oh, thank you. We'll take the baby now.
Oh, wow.
Right? Like that's the worst case scenario. But
it probably happens.
There's also been mix-ups of embryos implanted in the wrong mother. So, I mean, there's just...
It doesn't sound like that part of it is an exact science just yet.
Right. And there's so many layers to the ethics of this that are so complex. They're beyond my understanding because I'm not an expert in this. But there are things to think about as maybe you are walking through infertility or you're walking with someone seeking your counsel. Right. One more thing about like our info dump section is there are annual storage fees for those frozen embryos, which leads to...
So the donor pays the fee?
No. It would be, let's say you and Debbie decide to freeze your embryos.
Right.
You have to pay an annual fee to keep them frozen. So there's abandoned embryos where people just stop paying.
Really?
Yeah.
So do they keep them frozen though?
Or they just become medical waste. Which we'll get into. Right?
That's a path that,
right.
Unfortunately, I think we're going to be going down, but as a society.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So then my second point is what's a Christ-like approach? First of all, every child, no matter how they were conceived, whether it's out of wedlock, whether it is through IVF, whether it's through one of these other reproductive technologies, every child is a gift and bears God-given dignity, right?
Amen.
So a verse to think of for that is in Psalm 127. Sons are indeed a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward. Every child, every human being bears God's image and has the dignity of being a human made in his image.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. The second thing, whether it's a decision you're making or are walking with others through facing infertility, through fertility treatments and those, I think we think of rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn.
Yeah.
I think we think of 1 Peter 3, finally all of you be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble.
So there's good biblical wisdom on how to deal with what we experience as the brokenness of that.
Right.
And that brokenness occurs every month.
Yes.
And so there's good biblical wisdom for the Christian community to minister to families like that.
Yep.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
Good.
So then what about a Christian's responsibility when considering reproductive technology? I think there's three things we need to do. We need to think carefully, we need to seek wisdom, and we need to prioritize ethical integrity. So think carefully. If you think about Romans 12, 1 and 2, therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So as you are weighing the different decisions or the different options that you're offered as an infertile couple, think carefully.
Yeah, that's good.
Seek wisdom. James 1:5, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives to all generously and ungrudgingly, and it will be given to him. I can't tell you how many times I've begged God for, Lord, I need your wisdom. I need it now. Or there's this thing coming up. I need your wisdom. So seek God's wisdom. But then also Proverbs 12:15, a fool's way is right in his own eyes, but whoever listens to counsel is wise. Talk to people that you respect, that are diligently following Jesus, that maybe have walked through a difficult season of not being able to have children, or have chosen adoption, or have chosen IVF, or all of that, where you can seek wise counsel from someone else. And then also prioritize ethical integrity. Proverbs 20, verse 7. A righteous person acts with integrity. His children who come after him will be happy. We'll get into this in a little bit, but this is where you have to match. If you're a pro-life person who believes life begins at conception, then what you do in your fertility treatments should match that.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that a little bit more. And again, these aren't decisions I had to make.
Right.
But as I was researching and preparing, I was really asking the Lord, kind of trying to put myself in someone's shoes where your arms are empty. You are so desiring a child, which is
it's a good thing.
Longing, right? Children are a gift from the Lord. And so what would that feel like to have options that are kind of gray?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, next section is questions to ponder. What do I believe the Bible teaches about when life begins? Do I believe human life starts at fertilization? If so, how do I reconcile the creation, freezing, or destruction of embryos with that belief? So I made a note for both of us because our belief is that life begins at conception. And then I was going to read Psalm, no one's surprised, Psalm 139. If you're familiar with this psalm at all, you'll know the end of it. It's a beautiful psalm. It's so encouraging and wonderful, but actually not the end. Starting at verse 13. This is David. For it was you who created my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will praise you because I have been remarkably and wondrously made. Your works are wondrous, and I know this very well. My bones were not hidden from you when I was made in secret, when I was formed in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw me when I was formless. All my days were written in your book and planned before a single one of them began. God knew you before.
Yeah. That's not just poetry.
No.
That's truth.
It's beautiful truth.
Yeah.
Poetry helps us digest it a
absolutely.
little, right?
Yeah, very much so.
So what do I believe the Bible teaches about life begins? We believe life begins at conception. So then next, am I honoring the sanctity of life in this process? You have to ask yourself, what happens to unused embryos? We'll get into that a little bit more. But and then another thing that happens is when you have created these embryos, they want to make sure the ones they implant are healthy, strong, don't have genetic deformities or abnormalities. You can choose what gender your baby is. So then, what are the ethics of that, right?
Yeah.
What am I honoring the sanctity of life?
Yeah.
If I'm doing these screenings,
right,
saying, "Ooh, that baby might be born with a defect or something," don't implant that one.
Well, that's tough.
It's tough, right?
That is really tough stuff.
Right.
It is.
So then I have a note, Beth's view, because I wasn't going to assume your view on this, but my view is if you choose IVF, in vitro fertilization, only create embryos you plan to give birth to, which is one of the complicated layers. It's extremely expensive, and the most expensive part of it is harvesting the eggs. They try to do that all at once, and then they take the eggs and sperm and make embryos, like right then. And so not all embryos implanted are successful. So it's just like you're hearing the layers of complications of this, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so I only want to create 3 embryos, but then not all embryos implanted are successful. So they might implant 3 embryos and none of them come to term. You don't get a baby from that, right? But then maybe you have 8 embryos. Okay, we're going to implant all 8 embryos.
Mhm.
And what if all 8 take?
You can be busy.
Or it
Or-
could put the life of the mother at
Yeah,
risk.
yeah.
Or then they say, let's do a selective abortion where
And
we
so what do you
reduce the
s-
size.
you-
Right? There's all these layers,
yeah.
right? So then there's a lot of risks involved and a lot of decisions you probably don't want to be forced into making
Yeah.
down the road.
Yeah.
Again, this is so complicated.
Mhm.
And I know it's tender for a lot of people. And so please I hope you're hearing in the tone of my voice. If you're not watching, I hope you're seeing my body language. This we are coming to this with an understanding that it's hard to be infertile. It's hard to have a family that's not the size you want it to
Right.
be.
And given, our situation, if this technology was available 20, 30 years ago
Mhm.
when we were going through this journey, I don't know what we would do. I mean,
Right.
because we desperately wanted to have a large family.
Yeah.
And God gave us one. We are
Yep.
so grateful
Yep.
because God doesn't give one sometimes.
Right.
But I don't know what we would do.
Yeah.
Would the ethics get all of a sudden kind of fuzzy and blurry
Right.
because of our desire to have more children?
Right.
And knowing me, I can't speak for Debbie, but
Right.
knowing me, that would have been the journey.
Right.
Is I would have found a way to get around some ethical dilemma just to have more children, I
Right.
think.
Right.
And so that makes it really tough.
Right.
Yeah. All right, so here we are
Grab bag.
at our Behold.
Grab bag.
Okay, we have got to get, Ethan, you've got to give us some theme music because Beth's grab bag is not going to work. All right, you just got to do it. So, all right, you ready?
I sure hope so.
Okay, this is something that you and I have to respond to. We have 30 seconds to do it.
Okay, go.
Okay. Well, no, the timer can't start
okay.
yet. Okay. Oh,
Whoa.
my goodness.
Oh, look, there's like a full page of instructions.
Okay. Meet in the middle game. Number 1, think of any random word, then count down together 3, 2, 1, and say the words at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
Pizza.
Aardvark. Do we go on?
Keep reading.
Number 2. Then go back.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Number 2. Now both think of a word that somehow between or connects the 2 words you
Okay.
just said quickly.
Okay.
I don't get that one.
So something between pizza and aardvark.
Okay. Count down again, 3, 2, 1, and say your next words.
Okay.
Number 4, keep repeating, trying to meet in the middle until you both say the same word.
Okay.
You have 30 seconds to get there.
Okay.
All right, so the first one is 3, 2, 1, aardvark. You said pizza. Okay, now both think of a word that's somehow between or connects the 2 words you just said.
Okay.
I don't get that.
So I'm thinking snack bar because an aardvark might be at the zoo and pizza might be at the zoo.
Oh, I wasn't thinking. I was thinking of anteater.
Oh, okay. No, you have to think about something that connects pizza and aardvark.
Okay,
So let's think
all right.
let's start with a whole
Okay.
new set of
Okay.
words.
A whole new. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Jupiter.
Lawnmower. Lawnmower.
Lawnmower. Okay. Lawnmower and Jupiter. Okay.
Wait.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Planet.
Roundup.
Count down again and say, keep repeating.
So something between planet and roundup.
Planet and Roundup. 3, 2, 1. Yard.
Globe.
Lobe.
I'm thinking globe, like
Globe.
lawn ornament globe.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Lawn.
Lawn and globe.
Yard.
We're getting yard.
Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Lawn.
Owner.
What'd you say?
Owner.
Owner. Okay.
3, 2, 1. House.
House. We did
We
it.
got it. Wow.
We're terrible at this
Wow.
game.
We just
Okay.
lost several listeners.
That was good. That was
This,
hard.
by the way, was given to us by Ruth King, a former employee here at our
Stop
church.
it.
That was good. That took
That was
some
good.
thinking, Ruth.
Yeah,
So thank
good
you very
job,
much.
Good job.
Grab
Just because we
bag.
stunk at it doesn't mean it was bad.
No, we just stunk at it.
I
Well,
think if we played like 6 more rounds, we'd probably be better at it.
Okay, so let's do it.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, phew. I used up all my words already.
I know. That's grab bag.
That was fun. So again, I'm not saying IVF is unethical.
Right.
That there are probably Christian approaches to it where, yeah, you are going to spend a lot of money and maybe not get pregnant, but you're not going to have embryos frozen for what, decades?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so then another question. What is our theology of family and reproduction? You have to ask these questions to yourself, but also with your spouse. How do biblical themes like creation, family, and the sanctity of life shape your views on reproduction? Have you sought guidance through prayer, scripture, or wise counsel? Do you believe there's a biblical model for how families are formed? This is when you get into thinking through donor eggs, donor sperm, using a surrogate. Like, is that how the Bible or how God wants us to create? Right? It's, again,
yeah. And the issue is as the Bible is being compiled, these were not issues.
Right.
But infertility is throughout Scripture.
It is.
And God is in charge of that.
Yes. And if you think of the times, like something I came across in one of these articles by Scott Ray was there are a couple examples of surrogacy in the Bible, but it was using women who were marginalized. Hagar.
Property.
Rachel's, I think Bilhah was her name. Kind of like concubines or slaves or whatever. And they were used as an incubator for
offspring.
Yeah. Okay, another question. What are my views on adoption? That's another one. I mean, adopting a baby doesn't just this isn't showing adoption. But then also, what does being a parent mean to you biologically, spiritually, and relationally? A lot to think through on that. And so I think as you study God's word, as you ask the Spirit for wisdom and guidance, as you seek wise counsel, those things will become clearer for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And then also, am I practicing wise stewardship financially and ethically? IVF is costly and emotionally taxing. I mean, just to get started, it's about $20,000. It's expensive.
That's expensive.
It's taxing on your body. It's taxing, am I prepared for the physical, emotional, and spiritual toll? Questions to ask. I mean, I don't think I'm mature enough to ask myself these kinds of questions, right? This is hard stuff.
Yeah.
This is such a fun conversation about making babies. It's challenging.
Yeah.
But then also, is this the best use of my resources in light of my values? So a lot of things to weigh there.
Yeah, a lot of things to weigh, adoption, foster care. I mean, all of those ministries are definitely needed. And, here at Arcade, we highly encourage adoption. We encourage families to be invested in foster care and active involved with that. And obviously, we want children to run around and stuff. That's very, very important. Yeah. Yeah.
But then what's a Christ-like response? I was thinking about this. Maybe there's someone who's made a different choice than you. I started to copy and paste the verse about taking the plank out of your own eye.
Yeah.
And then I didn't. But I think that's something to consider. Like, as someone who, like I mentioned, this wasn't a path that I walked down. I don't know what it feels like. It would be really easy for me to have lots of opinions and judge other people about what their choices were, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to choose to not do that. It's easy to be judgmental.
Yeah.
I'm really good at it. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't want to be, but I think we lean into grace. We lean into seeking to understand. We lean into, even if they come and they're confessing that, you know what, we made some choices that looking back, we probably shouldn't have. I think we show them the forgiveness in the gospel.
Well, which is everyone's story.
Right.
Everyone's story is, we should have zigged when we zagged.
Right.
We shouldn't have made that decision. We should have made this decision. That's life. That's Tuesday. For most of us.
Yeah.
And so I think you're absolutely right, is a couple that's chosen a different path. They've done that for whatever reasons.
Right.
Whether they're good or bad, it's not for you or me to decide about that. It's God who will
Right.
be able to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you think about, maybe you know someone who was born via IVF, or someone who's been adopted, or someone who through some other, maybe
Right.
they were, have a teenage mother. Those children, I'm thinking of faces, and I'm so glad
Yeah.
that they're here.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they are, a part of our church family. Um, children are a beautiful gift from
Yeah.
the Lord.
Yeah.
So,
Very
but
much
then,
so.
the last remark I would really love your insight into, because you have such a pastoral heart, but this was a journey that you and Debbie had to navigate, right? And I wrote down, if you're navigating infertility, I want you to hear that you are not alone. That God hears your cries and walks with you in your pain. But Craig, what would you want to share with someone walking through infertility?
Well, I mean, a lot of what you just said, I think is true. And I think what happens is when you go through something like that, you tend to isolate. And it's kind of a good news, bad news, because you really, when we were going through infertility, and by the way, we still grieve.
Yes.
That has not gone away.
Right.
Our ability to have children has gone away,
Yeah.
but our desire has not. And so we still grieve over that. And that will not go away.
Yeah.
But because as a pastor, and everyone knew that we wanted more children, just because it's the nature of what we do, is people know what's in our business and stuff. People were constantly giving us verses to claim, tea to drink, giving us wisdom, all the advice, and that just magnified our grief. They did that in love and care, because they wanted to help, but it just magnified our grief. And so, if you know someone who's going through infertility, one thing you don't ask them every month is anything.
Oh.
And that's what happens.
Oh.
And it just makes your grief even more public.
Just breaks your heart a little more.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And so I always, even in biblical counseling training, I go to Job's friends, because Job's friends, they get a lot of bad press. But one thing that we forget about Job's friends is they go and they see Job in his plight. They see him in his loss and in his pain. And the text says they went and sat with him in silence for 7 days.
Yeah.
And then they opened their mouths.
Then they started saying dumb things.
Yeah. And so I would say this, if you know someone's going through infertility, make sure that you're with them. And if they bring it up, then go with it and talk with it. But if they don't bring it up, probably don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Because that's our story. It may be different for other people. If you are going through infertility, Satan wants you to be alone. He wants your infertility, your desire for children, to become an idol. And what happens, and what happened with us, is we began to have this transactional relationship with God. It's, God, if you give us this, what we want, then we will do this. And that was probably more me than Debbie. And that's idolatry.
Yeah.
And so I had to confess that. And I confessed that, and we've moved on. And by God's grace, even though we still grieve over our son not having brothers and sisters, and our grandchildren not having cousins, we're grateful for what we've been given. And we definitely do not want to have that sense of ingratitude.
Right.
But if you do want to talk about infertility, I know that my wife would be glad to talk to you about it. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. It's different for the husband than for the wife, because the wife feels that every month. And that can be so very difficult for someone. But it's the classic question that we had to ask ourselves numerous times back then: is God sovereign? And if he is sovereign, then we are exactly where he wants us to be.
Right.
And if these options were open to us at the time, we wouldn't have had $20,000. But if they had been open to us, we would have researched them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we would have, probably gotten involved with that somehow, because of our desire to have children.
Yep.
But like you said numerous times, Beth, This is not an easy topic. I mean, we'd like to think that there's a black and there's a white. There's a good and there's an evil. There's a sin and there's righteousness. And that just isn't the case with this. At least I don't think so.
No, and there's other medical technology that you experienced recently with your knee surgery, right?
Yeah.
So every time there's an advance in medical technology, especially with reproduction, we have to not just accept it as good. We have to think through, is this right in God's sight?
Yeah.
Is this the right step for our family?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you get to behold?
Yeah.
First of all, Beth, great job on the research and the presentation. I learned a lot. I mean,
there's so much more.
Well, shame on me. I don't know that much about this because we're beyond that now.
Right.
But you and I, we know families that are going through this, and they're thinking about these things, and I'm glad they are. I'm glad that the option is there for that.
Well, like I said, Dr. Scott Ray, R-A-E, he's a great resource. He has some videos. He also has some more technical papers, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But if you just Google him, he's a good resource for you.
Good. In talking about behold, I go to the verse that I had to look at during our journey of infertility because I was convinced that the only way that Debbie and I would be happy is if we had a larger family.
Okay.
And if we didn't have that larger family, then we wouldn't be fulfilled. We wouldn't have this abundant life. And so I came across a verse years ago in the middle of this journey that still speaks volumes to me in other areas of life.
Okay.
And it's Psalm 16, verse 11. And David is the psalmist in this one. He says, "You reveal the path of life to me. In your presence is abundant joy. At your right hand are eternal pleasures." And this passage 25 years ago was incredibly convicting for me because I had come to realization that the only way that I could truly have abundant joy is by getting what I want.
Right. That was wrong thinking.
Wrong thinking. But rather, abundant joy, this peace that I've always wanted, can only be found in the presence of our most gracious Savior. And that really kind of was a gentle slap in the face to me, even theologically. And so I was very grateful that God gave that verse to me and to us at the time we so desperately needed it because we wanted abundant joy.
Right.
But abundant joy only came with the bundle of joy.
Oh.
And no, abundant joy comes with Christ and Christ alone.
Yep, in His presence.
In His presence. And so I'm hoping that speaks to you, whether it's in infertility or any other situation that you're facing.
Yeah.
But Beth, thank you.
Well, and thank you for sharing so transparently. I know Debbie shared before.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I think when we share our struggles, it helps people know that we're safe people they can come talk to, right?
Yeah.
We're not these people with no problems.
Oh, and all the answers.
And all the answers, right? Yeah, we face struggles. And a verse keeps popping into my head. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and He saves those who are crushed in spirit.
Yeah.
So if you're brokenhearted and you're crushed in spirit, we're here for you.
Yeah.
We love you. We care about you. We care about what you're walking through. And just reach out to us and let us know how we can pray for you or how we can mourn with you if you're mourning or rejoice if you're rejoicing. That's a privilege of the job we do.
It is. Yeah. So thanks, Beth. Really appreciate it. And thank you, whoever requested this. We really appreciate that. We want to be able to have topics and shows that really kind of bowl down your alley, and this was one of those times.
Yep.
I would highly recommend that you share this, but don't share it with a family that's going through infertility issues. If they come upon it, great, but please don't send this as a link. Hey, I know you guys are going through this. You need to listen to this because it may not be what they need, but you may just want to ask for permission with that. But certainly, we want to expand this show to a larger audience, obviously. And so if you know someone that would benefit from the information that Beth has, we would love to talk with you. If you have any questions about this topic or any other topic that we cover or that we haven't covered, then you can go to info@behold@arcadechurch.com.
Behold.com.
Why do
No, wait, no. Behold@arcadechurch.com. We never get it right. We should have like a cue card.
So what is it? Behold
at arcadechurch.com. It's too simple.
Why is that?
I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to get it right. And
I blame Ruth. It's just easier that way.
It is.
Anyway, thanks, B.
Thanks, Craig.
Appreciate it.
Yep. See ya.
See you later.